Hello and welcome to Thehayteamtv, and oh my lord, right, it's absolutely pissing down here. We got thunder, we got lightning, we got heavy rain. I'm going to get in the dry a second. Oh, don't know if you can hear that thunder cracking away in the background. But it's not always fair weather farming. Quite often on the YouTube, I am usually doing something more line of fair weather, or I'm in a shed. Today, as a bank holiday, I haven't got anyone around, so not going to be baling. So what I've decided to do is, in a minute, get the mowers down. First, I want to go check the chickens, because chickens were put out my sister off this morning and I haven't seen them, and apparently we've lost one from a fox, which is a bit annoying. But that wasn't because where they are. I'll explain that in a minute. When I think it's just easing now. Yeah, it is still rumbling away. I'm marching my ass across the field. Good thing though, with the rain we've been having, like, I don't know if I said this a few weeks ago, so there is a big square here which gets a lot of runoff from the yard, so it gets like a lot of slurry, cow piss, manure, everything, so it's always dark green in this area and grows really fast. So I grazed it out. Well, it is already performed well enough that it's caught up with the rest of the field, and it's super thick, because a couple of weeks ago we just did not have a lot of bulk here. It was very sparse. We had seed heads, long grass, but not so much thickened out grass. So everything's bulked up in the last 2 weeks considerably, that we kind of are getting the point we're ready to cut. But this week I think it's unsettled, unfortunately, but that's not going to stop me going to get mowers down and bring them out. Now, we lost chicken. Not because where it is. Well, I brought the chicken shed down yesterday to this field because it was up in one of the hay fields in long grass. Now, what the chickens managed to work out to do was the fence wasn't sitting down against the ground, and they worked out they could get underneath it. So when they're getting put in the evenings, sometimes we're missing one too. So Mr. Old Foxy picked up one, bastard, and had that one away. So we are one down. But the good news is the chicken enterprise is flying, because we've got one customer taking 20 to 30 boxes every 2 to 3 days, which is fair going, to be honest. Let's get in the pen here, because you guys haven't seen this for ages. So when we had when bird flu was on, we had this all netted, because we just haven't got a shed that we can put them in. But out here, the gals are fairly happy. We go in. As you see, nice and dry. Loads of water. Check their feed. I haven't been in today because I've been out. So there's their ad-lib feed. So they're all fairly happy, all fed. Someone's out undoubtedly just decided to lay an egg, and someone else just got caught in a pipe. But you've got to admit, a chicken is kind of a bit of a stupid animal, really, because after it's laid an egg, it bloody tells the world. So how they actually manage to survive in the wild, who God only knows. Right, out of the way. So there's that. Still got thunder, so it's dark grey here and blue skies there, so hopefully it might pass through in a bit, but this has been here for hours. I decided that it was just a good time to make a video, to be honest. Right, now I'm going to go jump in the tractor because it is absolutely pissing on me right now. Oh, before then, I'm going to go show it to you. Well, we've got another new car that's happened in the last 2 days, so a little update there, but I'm not going to go through that yard, so I might go past there in the next video. But generally, hay fields are bulked, loads of grass, chickens are laying like crazy, and we're selling all the eggs, so now that's put even more pressure that myself and my sisters are off. I've got to get the next one underway. I don't know if you lot can see me though, because the camera keeps getting covered in water. Now, yeah, we've got another trailer obviously here. I've got to tip up his ass and weld the axle back together. Other than that, it's pretty good to go. Oh, broken ankle. Then we get 2 of these running, because that's what I sort of waiting to see. And the most important thing on selling, oh, wipe you off again. The most important thing in selling our eggs, we didn't kneel to price. Everyone we got and talked with were like, oh, your eggs are too expensive, your eggs are too expensive. Well, we held and held and held and held, and suddenly we come across a customer that basically like what we do, keeping chickens on the grass. They're always on clean ground, moved every day, happy with the price, and the first 20 boxes we sent down to him, he sold in a day and a half, which is all good. So that's phenomenal. The only one problem we have with him is he's a pick your own place and he's seasonal, so he stops in September. So we need to work out where to get rid of the surplus then. But that's a problem to have then, but at the moment we're selling loads of eggs. Whilst we're at it, another project I've been on is my path to my house, because this was just been in the mud for ages. And I built this set of steps for my sister's other half, because he's a carpenter. Honestly, don't think Justin's perfect at everything, because me and working with timber and stuff and measuring don't usually go on. I'm a bodger. I know what I am, I'm happy what I am, but precise stuff, not me. I don't know if you can see it out there. Oh, I don't know if you can see it out there. It is just absolutely pissing down. It's probably the heaviest rain that I've seen in a very long time. Place you guys there. Right. Yeah, it is just freaking. Honestly, it's just shitting it down. So I'm gonna get the mowers out the shed. Obviously, we're probably not going to cut this week, but if they're out the shed, it's in motion. I can then get blades, get them serviced up, ready to go, and then all I've got to do is hitch up and start knocking grass down. But as I already said, quantity is out there now. Anyone that's new to the channel, please subscribe, that'd be great. And anyone that's watching the channel isn't subscribed, please subscribe as well. If you're already subscribed, awesome. But the rest of you, thumbs up, that'd be brilliant. Now, back to what I was saying. Everything's bulked up, but the most important thing to anyone that's new watching the channel is we do not use any fertiliser. The chickens, which I showed a minute ago, is an experiment to see how it goes. Where I've run them already and in the past, the experiment started with 4 chickens in a little coop, and I worked out over moving them every day, even a second year after they've grazed an area, there's still a lot of nitrogen left in that ground and it's still staying really dark green. So my theory upon it is, now whether I'm right or wrong, the theory on it is that there's something in that manure that holds in the ground better than artificial. You know, still an experiment in my own mind. The if was on the shed that if we could sell that many eggs, the eggs more than pay for the chickens and them to be moved, because the only input costs we have are feed and the diesel to move them. That's it. There's no other input costs. Water's free from the spring. Okay, we've just got to take it to them, but essentially it's free. So that's all they have on input costs, bit of red diesel and feed. The numbers, I'm going to sit down and go with everyone on that and how it may scale up in the future. Obviously I picked up another trailer. That trailer cost me less than the trailer that we've already got, which is even better because that means it'll play for itself faster. Again, I'm going to get to that when I get to the building that one. And the most important thing, we're now selling all the eggs without having any carryovers, and for a little while I was eating a lot of eggs, which is a whole different story. But we're now selling pretty much all the eggs, not eating very many ourselves, which is where I wanted to be. So that now leads me to make the next one and then see how that scales up. But if the ideal scenario, if I could get 4, maybe 5 of them, I don't think any more than that, we could cover a serious amount of ground on the farm a year with nitrogen for free. Well, better than for free, because the principle is we're actually then getting paid to put nitrogen down from the profit that we get from chicken eggs. With me? Are you? With me? Maybe not, maybe not, I don't know, I'm talking about camera. So, yeah, that's the principle behind it. Then I might scale out again sideways to possibly doing some pasture range meat chickens. It's something I keep getting asked about. And something else I get asked about at the moment is duck eggs, but I've got a personal thing, you guys tell me if I'm right or wrong, I've got a personal thing on doing duck eggs that, for me, ducks need to be by a pond. I want to cover nitrogen across fields without a water source for ducks to really have fun. So I think it's a bit like, in my head, I can't get my head around it at the moment. I think there's a bit of a welfare issue that it's not fair on the animal keeping it away from its natural environment. Does that make sense? So I'm going to stop talking and ranting on now, and I am now going to get a move on and go get up there and get these mowers on. Right, I'm just opening some gates. God, thunder in the background. Now, something else has been going on. We have been filling sheds up with hay. So we've bought a lot of hay. So those of you that watch the channel a lot, shed the other side of the road, big wood barn, that's full up with hay. This one here is full up with hay. Why these are only stacked too high at the moment is because tractor delivering it with trailer broke down, so they got wet in a shower, so they've been left like they are, see 2x2 gaps, so they can dry out. Anyone was wondering, oh, why do you bother? Basically because we're not feeding them to cattle and we've got to turn them back into small bales, and it's kind of got to be done this way. If you try and do it any different, it doesn't work, because then there's too much friction in the chamber, which then ends up with too much density, which makes bales too heavy. Okay, so there is method in madness. Now, there they are, 1 and 2, ready to go. I have just noticed that fortunately I did park this far enough in, but you've still always been getting a little bit wet by those things, because the panels on that door are pulling out. Panels there. So I think at some point very soon I need to come up and put that back on, else that's going to be just a waste of time when the hay is back in here. But yeah, so we're filling everything up with hay, because hay at the moment, like buying in, is not a bad price, because loads of people are trying to empty their sheds, so we're making sort of use best we can of that and getting a load in. A lot of this is going to get processed straight away, because else we're not going to be able to put a lot of our own hay in sheds, which is going to be really interesting. But on the, how do I say this, on the uncertainty of where this year is going, costs of putting stuff in, buying stuff, yada yada yada, we decided to take the punt on the price that we know, which is now, rather than the gamble on the price that could be, whether it's higher or lower later on. We just didn't want to gamble on it. Now, People thought the price was going to be high because there's going to be lots of this. They want a lot of hay about. Grass is bulked everywhere down here. I don't know where the rest of you are around the country, but down here it's bulked massively, and heard in areas that it's bulked massively, Somerset, places like that. So if there is loads of hay in the market or haylage on the market, prices are going to drop regardless to the fact that fuel's through the roof and everything through the roof. Okay, it's just it's supply and demand, and if there's a vast supply, like the demand's not as high because it's everywhere, so everyone ends up going to the cheapest area they can buy, and then we just have this ongoing thing where farmers start undercutting each other, and then no one makes any money. So it could go cheaper, or it might go more expensive if people don't make lots of hay. And if it goes more expensive, we're happy because we've basically, effectively, we figured that we put money in the bank. And that's a lot of hay. A lot of hay. Oh, you've gone steamed up here. There, I'm back. Right, let's get some mowers on. Right, one's on. Now, anyone in the video is going to see that, yes, I have put a machine on with the tractor running. Well, everything's in neutral, there's only me in here. Anyone wants to say there can be a problem with computer error? Yeah, I know, Rob. Right. Don't do everything the same as me at home, number one. But it's just far easier being able to tweak the machine, move things around, because especially when you're coming back to put things on for the first time of the year, nothing lines up like the way you want it to. So that's just the way I do things. It just makes everything a little bit easier and quicker, because until I put it on for maybe the third, fourth time this summer, I'm going to be slow at it every time, even though I put it on so many times every year doing the same thing. So that's just the way I do it, and going to do it, and always going to do it. Now I put this one on, and this one should go a little bit easier, because there's not so much going on. First I'm going to put the balls back on, because Adam took all the 3-point linkage balls off to go back with the fast tracks. Yes, we got new fast tracks. Yes, when Adam's back, we will talk about it. Yes, Adam will come back at some point, and we will discuss all the things that everyone's going on about, and random weird rumours which have sort of come to us through the world of social media, which is a bit weird, but if that's what we want to talk about, whatever floats your boat. Either way, we're having fun farming, that's all that matters. the most challenging part of this is getting back out of this doorway. So these mowers, the way they are hinged to, where they're hinged to the headstock, right, on the frame, the way they carry up is higher than the mowers that we had before. So last year I had a problem getting in, so I had to whip a chainsaw along the bottom boards. So see the boards there that would be slightly longer than they are here. I had to whip the chainsaw along there, whip them all off in order to get the mower in it. Now, new fast track, new tyres, new things. Fingers crossed it goes out of here, else I'm going to have a bit of a head scratch. I'll probably get a chainsaw and make it a bigger hole. Well, that went not quite to plan. So, I don't know if you can see, 2 boards there, 2 boards the other side. There's a little bit on top of mowers, even right down. Now, I don't know exactly, because again, new tractor. I have just spotted that the threads aren't wound down enough on the side links. I could have done that, but it's out and I haven't ripped the front of the shed off. I've just dislodged a couple of panels which I'll have to go back and nail back up. Otherwise it's out, but our sheds were never meant to be machinery sheds. Our sheds were meant to be cattle buildings, and we're making them do things that they weren't really designed for. You know, what we really want is where the mower should be sort of stored is in the factory, where we've got 20-foot high doorways, where we wouldn't have to actually think about driving in and out. But we can't do that because that's full up with stuff. But in the future, maybe we'll have a machinery shed, a proper machinery shed with 20-foot doorways that we can put all the kit in and not have these issues. So that is a bit of a catch up for this week for you all. I am now going to run this down, park it up. It has stopped raining for a bit. I'm going to see what it does, because if it does dry up for the next hour, I may start servicing this up, which then I'll just make another video with that in the other things, and you'll see. Okay, there's not really a lot to do on servicing these mowers, but it's got to be done. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed me sort of mumbling along with everything I've been talking about. If you haven't yet done so, please hit the subscribe, ring the bell. That'd be wicked. Give us a thumbs up. That'll help with the algorithm. Hope you all are having a fantastic harvest 2022, and hopefully no one is getting done over by too many, or the expense of red diesel and everything else that's going on. And maybe hope to see some of you at a show. So until next time, see you next one. Cheers.